Safety is important for all of us, both personally and as MPR members. Minor injuries are no fun. More severe injuries can be life-altering. Injuries also drive up costs for the entire organization. MPR knows that safety really starts with each one of us, every day. In this installment, we'll review hand and power tools safety. These are probably the most common tools used in our jobs. Some of us use these tools on a daily basis to make or repair all kinds of things. They save us time and allow us to do our jobs better and more efficiently. But often we take the operation of these everyday tools for granted. Perhaps we don't take the proper amount of care when using them. When this happens, accidents can occur. Misuse or carelessness can put member employees at risk, and the injury could be a minor laceration or something more serious, such as amputations, loss of sight, or even a fatality. Tools can be dangerous. In fact, about 125,000 serious injuries involving power tools happen every year in the United States. Hand injuries are the most common, and about 20% of power tool injuries involve table saws. There's a large variety of tools at your disposal. Typically, there are saws, table and portable, drills, grinders, hammers, screwdrivers, and wrenches of all types. Injuries while using these tools don't necessarily result from misuse of these tools. Often, injuries are a result of simply not keeping in mind the risks associated with the use of the tool. Anytime you are using a hand or power tool, it's in your best interest to keep in mind the 6 most common injuries caused by these tools and how to prevent them. Lacerations or cuts are very common, especially in the use or misuse of saws and other hard-edged tools. Puncture wounds are also common injuries. Think about this when you are using screwdrivers, drills, or other pointed or tapered tools. Remember, the danger becomes even greater when using pneumatic nail guns or electric screwdrivers. For those tools powered by electricity, damaged cords, faulty equipment, and of course, the use of electric tools near water demands an extra measure of precaution. Far too often we read reports of someone electrocuted on the job. Be mindful of the additional hazards when working with electricity. Power cords or tools that are left on the ground are another type of hazard. A little care in positioning these cords or setting tools down can prevent a serious fall. How important is your eyesight? Silly question. Eye injuries are a big concern when using power tools. The force applied by hand or power tools can cause objects to become airborne. Don't leave your eyes vulnerable. Wear the appropriate eye protection when working. One of the most common and serious injuries associated with power tools is the severing of the index or middle fingers. A healthy respect and extra care when using power tools can help you avoid potentially tragic situations. Know your tools, prepare the work area, and protect yourself and others as needed. Before you begin a task that involves hand or power tools, take a moment to think about the following tips. They may save you a trip to the emergency room. Assess the risks you may encounter with all the tools needed and take the necessary precautions. Don't let your mind wander when working. Pay attention to the task at hand. Perhaps you've done a job hundreds of times before. You know how to do it, but that very familiarity with the job may be the cause of an accident. Be focused at all times. On the other hand, overconfidence can also result in injuries. Please keep in mind not to exceed your skill level with a tool, or use a tool in a manner that exceeds its performance capabilities or intended function. Inexperience or lack of training is another factor in many accidents. Never assume an associate employee or volunteer will know how to safely work with the tools for any given task. Keep an eye out for unsafe situations and ask questions that afford you confidence that co-workers know how to safely use tools. Never disable safety features and review the operating instructions when using a device that you haven't operated recently. Check for defects in power cords and connectors on power tools. Make sure cords have grounded 3-prong connectors or double insulation. And common sense goes a long way in avoiding accidents. Always inspect tools before and after using them. If a tool is damaged, take it out of service immediately for repair or replacement. Keep work areas organized and uncluttered. This will help you avoid trips and falls. Always use the personal protective equipment associated with the tools being used and the task at hand. These can include eye protection, gloves, and safety shoes, as well as other equipment as needed. Make sure you're using the right tool for the job. A wrench is not a hammer, and a screwdriver isn't a chisel. Power saws and drills are of particular concern. Always be keenly aware of the path of a saw blade and its distance of movement, and be aware of how far a drill will penetrate during its use. At any time you're working at heights, please take extra precautions for yourself and anyone who is below you. Falls and falling objects are very dangerous. We can all make a big difference in workplace safety. A thorough understanding of the risks and a little common sense can make all the difference. Remember, we want safety first, and we want safety to last.